what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have a very special video for you guys today, but before we get into that,
please subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to 100, so please subscribe if you haven't. Also follow our socials down in the link below. We try to post every single day.
without further ado, let's get into it.
So what we got today?
So the Premier League season ended like a week ago, I believe, and just after when we started recording this, the Champions League has concluded as well. So we decided, you know what, let's start making a tier list, and we'll be ranking how the Premier League teams did today. Before we get started, it will be based on it will be heavily weighted on the Premier League season, but we'll be also be basing teams of how they did in their other competitions as well.
The FA Cup, Carabao Cup, UCL obviously, and Europa League. And then if you disagree with us, please comment down below. And also, if you say your team sucks, too bad.
Tell them to perform better.
Tell them to perform better.
It's our opinion. Obviously, we hope you guys respect that, and we'll respect yours in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's get started with the first team.
So we're gonna go with based on what we expected in the beginning of the season and how they ended up.
Yeah, pretty much, and then how they did in the competition.
First up, Leicester City.
So they got relegated.
Yeah.
They were 19th place.
Yeah.
Or 18th, doesn't matter.
Or 18th. They were relegated,
pull up the standings quickly. And they didn't do obviously well in go far. Like, we're not gonna consider the FA Cup stuff if they didn't make it far, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's either a D.
S.
No.
I think
it's a D tier.
I'm going D tier.
I'll put them in D tier. We could always come back to it after.
Yeah. But I'm going with D just because
I still thought they were a mid-table team.
Yeah, or like non-relegation at least.
Yeah,
right?
like I thought they would be like comfortably mid-table at the most. Even surprise some people and
even
go top
for me.
10.
Yeah, for me it was probably 10
like
to
lower end of the 10.
10 to 13 range.
Yeah,
was for me.
Yeah, we'll keep them at 10 for now. I think that's
D tier.
Or sorry, D tier for right now.
Yeah. So next up we got Leeds United.
Okay, so here's the thing: we have relegated teams in this. They should obviously automatically be F tier because they're relegated teams.
Yeah.
But these guys were also dysfunctional as hell, right? They fired their manager. They had Big Sam. Still struggled.
They had the American coach, but they also had players too. Like
Jesse Marsh was their coach, yeah.
Yeah, they had Weston McKennie that they brought in. They had Tyler Adams as well. They had Summerwell. I don't know what. It's hard to really rank.
I think it's F only. Okay, yeah. I think they would have been in relegation battle. Or close to it, like better than Leicester. Worse than Leicester, but they were so dysfunctional this year. I feel like it's either D or F. Where do you want to put them for right now?
Thing is this, bro. They have to be in the same tier as Leicester, right? In my opinion, because they're both relegated, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like we should move Leicester down to F and put Leeds at F as well.
Actually, let's put both them D actually for now. And then,
are you sure? I will go D right now, but I think relegated teams should just be F automatically.
Okay, yeah, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to it. Move it to next on Fulham.
Okay, Fulham. They finished 10th. Their manager Marco Silva did better than expected. Obviously they went quarterfinals in the FA Cup. They lost to United. I would say B, low end of B, high end C, or just strictly B.
I'd go with B for sure. They're also they're a promoted team, so
they were promoted this year.
Yeah, they got promoted, so then they did well in that case.
Yeah, then B for sure.
B for sure.
I think B for sure.
AFC Bournemouth, another promoted team,
and they just survived.
Yeah, but they went on a good they were really I would say mid-season they were really in the relegation battle. Yeah. But then they started getting some points and wins where they at the end they weren't really they were already secured.
5 points clear, 15th place.
Yeah.
So you're right. Push the Leeds and Leicester to F, and I would put actually.
Too late.
Actually, yeah, just put them to F for now, and push. I'd say Bournemouth C then.
I'll go with C for sure.
Probably C, D tier for sure.
Yeah.
I would say C.
I'll say low end of C right now for sure.
Okay. Well, we're not gonna rank them based on that. We're gonna just put them in the tier.
Yeah, we'll just put them in.
Okay.
All right. Next up,
rearrange after.
We got a big boy.
Manchester United.
Man United. My initial thoughts is A.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. I would say it was A or B for sure. Expectations in the beginning of the season were obviously top 4, but not
top
like
4, but
probably
like
like 4th or 5th.
it wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, so it's like in the 4 range. They ended up finishing 3. They were in the Carabao Cup champions.
They won,
Actually,
yeah, they won
they're
a trophy.
finalists for the FA Cup, and they went.
Went to the
Carabao Cup. They went what? They beat Barcelona, and they lost to Sevilla.
Europa League.
Sorry, Europa League.
They beat Barca in the round of 32. They beat
Another Spanish team.
Betis, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'll confirm, but and then they ended up losing the
Betis or
quarters.
Sociedad, I think one of those, right?
No,
it has to
Sociedad
be.
was in the.
It has to be Betis, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it was Real Betis. They beat in the round of 16 and they lost to Sevilla in the quarters. But overall, like, you got what you wanted, 3rd place, like a Champions League spot, which was honestly a major dub for you guys because coming into the season, we were pretty dysfunctional as well, right?
Yeah, even we started the season off terrible.
Started terribly. The fact that you came 3rd place and won a trophy, for me, that's an A tier.
Yeah, definitely minimally exceeded expectations, but they at least met for sure.
They got their expectations.
Yeah.
They got what they wanted done.
And obviously the dysfunctional with the ownership situation as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I agree with A.
Liverpool.
So they're the opposite of Man United. I thought they were going to finish 2nd.
For me, they were top 2 guaranteed.
Yeah, top 2 guaranteed, go deep in the Champions League. Obviously, that's a draw as well, so they got Madrid early, but even then, like, they didn't put up a fight.
Yeah, they didn't really put up a fight in the second leg.
Yeah, so, and on top of that, they finished outside of top 4.
Initially, my thoughts were C or D.
I was saying D.
You're saying D, right?
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I
D.
feel like they didn't replace Sadio Mane. Well, yeah, they brought in Darwin Nunez, but he was like up and down. Their midfield didn't address it.
The midfield was horrible. Injured.
And on top of that, yeah, like I said, they had some horrible results. Yes, they beat Man United 9-0 or 7-0, but that's like their only big
thing with this is, right, like, reason why they're not F tier is because they still have a Europe spot.
Oh yeah, for
because,
sure.
Because like they were like they were worse. Sure. They were mid season. Like in mid season, they're like around 8th, 9th, right? So then the fact that they went on a little run to even challenge for Man United,
they were scared. Yeah, they scared us for sure.
Yeah, they definitely scared us. So like, for me, just that's why I maybe put them C. But for D, my reasoning for D is
their expectations were much higher than
they were top 2 for me.
Even battling.
Yeah, they were top 2 for me.
I would say D for sure.
I'll go D.
Again, we could always rearrange, but
yeah.
Newcastle S.
Simple. Just there's no debate.
No one thought maybe European battle, like lower end European battle, not top 4 battle. They started off the year 1st or 2nd a bit, right? Like they're top 3 for sure. Obviously, they went down a bit. They were Carabao Cup finalists, and then I don't know how far they got into the FA Cup. But if you're talking about what their expectations were, they were probably like 6, 7, 8. Range.
Yeah. That was their ceiling coming into it, right? Like when we were thinking about it, because like they had the new owners, they didn't really buy anyone major. Yeah, they added like some
Isak
key pieces.
Was like their biggest signing.
Yeah,
they added like Sven Botman.
Yeah, like they made good signings and they obviously paid off.
Great year.
Eddie Howe, obviously,
and their goalie, what's his name?
Pope
had a great year.
Yeah,
and then on top of that, they were comfortable top 4. Yeah, Liverpool put up a fight late, but
they were never really
out of it.
Trouble. Like they got it secured with one game left. The thing is, like, their ceiling for me was Conference League, Europa League max, like 6 and lower. And for a team that was like in the bottom half last year, to make that jump to top 4 and get 4th place without even like going on a big spending spree like how City does usually, that's the S tier for me. Yeah,
for sure. Like guaranteed Champions League spot now, so nothing else to say. I think that's an S tier team.
Brentford,
they have a Europe spot, right? No, missed out. They're 9th.
I'm going B.
Yeah, B. Yeah, B's fair. I was gonna say
B's
A.
Fair,
I
right?
thought they were in a Europe spot. No, B's fair. Obviously, they had a run where they beat the top teams at home, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
Almost all of them.
They beat us 4-0.
Yeah.
And they beat City.
Let me just see hold up. Let me see the teams they beat. But I feel like B is a fair spot.
Yeah.
They beat United. They beat they drew Chelsea. They beat City. They drew Tottenham. They beat Liverpool. They drew Arsenal at Arsenal. They lost Man United 1-0, lost by 1. Yeah, so and they beat Chelsea at Chelsea as well.
Well, Chelsea sucks. We'll go to Chelsea soon enough.
Yeah, that's coming up soon, as you could tell. But I would say B, high B for sure. Low end A. We could, but I would say they're higher than Fulham for sure.
I'll go like this.
Yeah, I'll go like that.
Right. Crystal Palace. Where did they end up? Bottom half.
I don't even hear much of them this year,
Right?
honestly.
They were like under the radar a lot.
11th place, still like 7 points off, 10. I would say they're like a C team.
That's
They're
what I
like the
agree.
average C team, I think.
Right, yeah. I mean, their expectation was around there, right? Like for
Yeah.
me personally, they were like anywhere from like 9 to like 13.
Yeah.
So like they finished there. I mean, see, you met your expectations, right?
Yeah. They were just that team that I never heard of much. No, nothing major and nothing disturbing at the same time.
Yeah, like they just quietly had their type of season, and they always been like that too, right? Like
Yeah.
in the middle of the table. Next up, is there any lower tier than F? Because we got Chelsea,
Yeah, F. Throw them an F. Simple. We
like the
obviously
bottom of F.
we mentioned it in the podcast when we were recapping the season in a way. Who our biggest disappointment was? It's Chelsea. Like, yeah, you got new owners. You spend a whole lot of money with Thomas Tuchel as your manager. You spent money on like Fofana and all these guys, and then you sack him 2 weeks into the season or like almost a month into the season, and then you bring in a good coach, in my opinion, that worried us, and Graham Potter, and he was struggling, and then you spend another 300 million in the January transfer window, and those players, except for maybe Enzo Fernandez and João Felix in a way, didn't perform, and then you sack him, and then you decide instead of promoting one of your current assistants, you bring in club
Frank
legend
Lampard.
who struggled and
Frank Lampard,
and still struggle to end the season.
who put Everton in relegation almost. We'll get to Everton later as well. I don't understand that move at all. I just feel like we shouldn't even rank them. Like they should just stay here.
No, just put
But
them in.
then,
You
but
still have
just
to
for the
rank.
sake of the video, well, you obviously have to put them at F tier.
I mean,
And I feel like
they're a team that I thought was gonna finish third.
yeah, I thought they were top three
I
guaranteed
thought
for
like
me,
Dom City and Liverpool,
Liverpool
were
were
top
top
three
three.
guaranteed.
and Chelsea being third for me, and then City or Liverpool being like one or two
Yeah.
switching. I mean, I think Chelsea fans will agree that F tier for sure. I don't think there's any arguments for this.
Yeah.
Southampton F.
If we're putting the other guys F, yeah, we have to put them F. I would still put them ahead of Chelsea.
Yeah, we'll go like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
20th place.
20th place. You gotta be F tier if
You
you're
got
getting relegated.
yeah, right. Like
It's expected. But before we move on, Leicester, Leeds, you happy with F still?
yeah, they're relative. Leicester is supposed to be better. Leeds shown that these two teams shown that they could perform in the Premier League
Yeah.
in the past seasons, right? So that's why expectation wise, like for me, Bournemouth was a relegated team.
I mean, to be honest, your job is to survive, and they didn't survive at the end of the day.
Yeah, right,
So
your
all
job
three relegated teams.
yeah, like Southampton, yeah, they were
They
battling.
were expected to be relegated, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. Southampton. Obviously, I probably thought maybe Forest, or maybe Bournemouth, but those two guys survived. But yeah, no, these two performed in the Premier League these past couple seasons,
Yeah.
and Leicester's freaking won the thing, and yeah, you got relegated after showing you have a standard set for you,
Yeah.
which is pretty disappointing for me.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with you then. Like, I guess your job was to survive. You didn't survive. That means you failed at your job. F tier. It doesn't matter if they were supposed to be like.
Here's one.
It's
Arsenal.
I think it's an A. I don't think it's an S.
Do you think it's ahead of Man United or
Yes.
like that, right?
Yeah.
I would
Slightly.
agree with you.
It's only okay. So here's the thing. They were leading the league for what was the stat?
93% of the time.
Right. So, and they knocked out. They got themselves knocked out in all the other competitions. So they
Pretty
didn't have-
early as well.
They didn't have an excuse, and then obviously Arsenal fans
So-
were saying like we're focusing on the league, and they
And then
bottled
you
the league.
focus on bottling
The
it.
big reason is they bottled the league. But again, similar to Man United, I thought Man United and Arsenal would be battling for like the fourth spot,
Same.
and they both exceeded that massively. But because Arsenal bottled the league,
They have to be in the same tier for me.
they would have to be in the same tier because Man United did win hardware, and they were finalists in another trophy.
And they were what? At the end of the day, top four is Champions League. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you're 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah,
You're still Champions League. You're still considered in the Champions League group, right? Different story when you win. 93% of the time you're in the lead. If it was like 50%, maybe you would have considered.
we could have considered
tier.
S, but
Like,
it's definitely
The title was legit. You had one hand on the title.
Yeah,
Like, and that's not even sarcastic.
yeah,
Like, that's legit. You had one hand on the title. Even the second one was.
yeah.
But then the fact that you blew a 8-point lead. Yeah, City had games in hand, but you started drawing teams like Southampton.
They lost to
Bournemouth.
Everton, if I'm not mistaken.
I know they beat Bournemouth. They lost to Everton. They lost to Brentford.
Yeah.
No, no, was it
No.
Nottingham? Nottingham. It was
Yeah.
Nottingham. Yeah. That part obviously makes it a little bit disappointing. If they didn't have that big of, if they were second all year,
Yeah. Then we would have
then it was
considered
S tier.
S.
For me, it was S
I
tier.
was still thought it was A. Um, because like for me, like Newcastle's S tier because you did not expect them to be in the top four race.
Yeah, no,
I
but
expected Arsenal to be in the top four race.
no, this is not top four race. This is a title race, though. That's the thing.
True, but well, we can't go back in time
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that. So we gotta go with what happened, and yeah, I think yes, I'll put them slightly ahead of ours, Manchester
Yeah, like
United,
they're ahead of Man United
just because
slightly.
we value the league a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I think A is fair.
City.
Yes, just put them there. Obviously we're recording this after watching the Champions League final. They got the treble, the second ever English team after Man United to do it. Probably one of the greatest teams of all time, not just in England.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
like
saying
also their best season of their entire existence.
yeah, like they're on a three-peat. They were expected to be one. They met that expectation. They did it from behind. They won the FA Cup. I don't know when they got knocked out in the Carabao Cup, but they got knocked out
It
early.
doesn't matter.
And obviously they ended up winning the Champions League, so they were playing top teams all the way through.
Yeah, they beat Bayern, they beat Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like they got shitty
I mean,
draws.
and they met the goal to win it all. If they didn't win anything else, then I would have probably put them an A because I mean they were expected to win the league in my opinion, anyways. But they went above and beyond. I think they're S.
There's no arguments. Aston Villa.
I would say A.
I would go A for sure.
Again, they were in relegation early with Steven Gerrard coaching, and bringing Unai Emery.
Oop, shit.
Bring Unai Emery, and they went on a massive run.
Yeah, right. They were relegation battle too,
and they ended up finishing what, sixth? So they're in a Europa League spot.
No, they're Conference
They
League.
finished seventh because they're in a Conference League spot, and I feel like they would have been mid-table, not even seventh, especially with the way the season started. I gotta put them in A. I don't think they're B.
A is fair. A is fair because of the turnaround they had.
Yeah.
But my question for Aston Villa is, what if they had Unai Emery from the beginning? How plausible would it have been that they had a Europa League spot?
Oh, easily. Possible.
Right, for sure.
How far were they off? I'll quickly check that.
They were like fair bits off, like at least a good like 2 games behind, I would say.
60. No.
There was
They
one
were
game.
1 point behind Brighton.
They were 1 point behind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Brighton lost their last game. They beat Brighton in the last game.
Yeah. So 67 was Liverpool.
Yeah. No, but the thing with this, that 1 point is fraudulent because Brighton already had it secured.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, so that's what.
But either way, there was 1 point behind.
Yeah,
You
right.
gotta go with the facts.
No, that was a good season for
I feel like
Aston
it's
Villa.
A. I think it's definitely an A.
Nottingham Forest.
Is that a D? They just survived. Did we expect expectations? They made no. I would say D. I wouldn't put them in C mainly because they made a lot of signings.
They did make a lot of
Like
signings.
they brought in like guys like Jesse Lingard. They brought in guys like
Dean Henderson. Then when Dean Henderson went out, they got Keylor Navas to replace him.
yeah. So they got Keylor Navas. Like, this is their squad. Serge Aurier, Willie Bolly, Renan Lodi.
Yeah. They did their job, right?
I'm not gonna put them in F because they did their job.
were they
Morgan Gibbs White.
Were they better than Liverpool?
I would put them Liverpool ahead.
Yeah, Liverpool's ahead. No, they did their job. They survived. Yes, with the moves they made, you expect them to do a little bit better, like not to be in the race till
like
the end.
like they were in the race till the end.
But not fully to the end because the win against Arsenal, like with 2 games left,
that also saved them.
that clinched it. That legit clinched it.
I still wouldn't put them in C though.
Yeah.
I still will keep them in D.
For that reason, I think I might put Bournemouth down then, because Bournemouth was the same thing.
But whose squad was better?
I would say on paper Nottingham was better.
That's why I would put them in D.
All right, I'm gonna move Crystal Palace out of Bournemouth there quickly.
Yeah.
And Wolverhampton.
B or C off the bat. I think they're like Crystal Palace actually. Like I didn't.
They were like mid-table, right?
They're 13th actually. They were part of that little stint.
I would go with C.
I would say they're like the Crystal Palace. I don't think I heard anything crazy for them.
I'll go like
ways. I think
I'll
they
go
were
like
just
this.
meh. They were just a meh team.
Yeah,
And
I'll
C
go like
screams
this.
meh.
Yeah, like your mid-table, C, mid-table.
Yeah.
Uh,
Everton,
it's got to be D
D.
for sure.
They avoided relegation, but they should not have been that low.
Yeah,
They
like with
brought
a team
in.
like
They brought
Everton.
in players.
They already have Pickford. They have like what's his name?
Michael Keane,
Michael Keane, Yerry Mina,
James Tarkowski's the one they brought
Tarkowski. Yeah, that was the one from Burnley.
And
Idrissa
Ganagay,
Ganagay.
Amadou Onana.
Who was their attackers?
Alex Iwobi, Damari Gray, Dominic.
Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, that was the guy I was.
Yeah, so definitely this should have not been in this battle. They should have been like where comfortably where Wolverhampton.
Yeah, like they're.
I thought they should have been where Brentford was essentially. Like I thought they would have been. They should have been.
Yeah, I know. Like for
bottom
me,
10 team. No, sorry, bottom half of the top 10 teams is like around that 10.
So like around 10
9 to like 12 range.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would probably put him like that's where I expected him to be. But props to Sean Dyche.
Yeah, he came in and saved them.
Really saved them for sure. Brighton.
A,
right?
It has to be. You lose your manager.
Right here, I would say.
Yeah, you lose your manager off the bat to Chelsea, like, and you bring in your.
And you were winning games.
And you bring in your assistant coach.
Who also killed it.
Who destroyed, like, right? Like, teams are, like, Liverpool already signed Alexis McAllister, who's a World Cup winner. You have people going after Moises Caicedo. They lost Trossard to Arsenal.
Yeah, in mid-season, right? Yeah.
Mid-season, and they still managed to squeak out some wins and obviously put scare on other teams. Like, who did they close out schedule? Like, they beat United 1-0 when they were on that hunt of top 4.
They beat United twice.
Then they ended up choking.
They did
Everton.
the double on United. They did the double on United.
And they ended up choking against Everton, but beat Arsenal 3-0. They had an up and down season, but you gotta give them A.
That's
like
A for sure.
Because they at least they made Europa, not even Conference League.
You made Europa, yeah.
So that's why
sixth place for a team a few years ago. And I'm not saying last couple, but like a few years ago, who was battling relegation. Obviously, slowly made their way up and up to last year. I think they were around mid-table, right? Like they weren't really battling relegation. They're probably 13th around there in that range, right? And to make that jump all the way to a Europa League spot was absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think that's easy A. I feel like the top 6 there is secured at where they are.
Yeah, for me, Tottenham's Hotspur.
D. It gotta be D.
I was going with F, bro. I was gonna put them like right here.
I think they were still in that European race. They
below Everton.
I would put them last in D for sure.
Right here, right?
Yeah, and the only reason why I'm not putting them in F is like Chelsea was never in that race from the beginning. Tottenham at least was like in that conversation. Yes, they fired coaches and players didn't play well other than Harry Kane.
Yeah,
really, like your big signing in Richarlison struggled.
Yeah, Richarlison struggled barely. I think one Premier League goal. Son for me surprisingly was pretty bad this year, and everyone loves Son. Son's a fan favorite.
And the other reason why I have them ahead of Chelsea is they still finished 8th, and they were going into the final with a chance at Europe at least.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Just because like
that's the only reason. Otherwise, I would have agreed with F. At least they finished kind of in the top 10. They were supposed to be a top 6 team.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be the big.
It's funny because like now, obviously with West Ham now getting a European spot, there's 8 teams in Europe, and Chelsea and Tottenham are not one of them.
Yeah.
Which is very funny to say.
And on top of that, sorry, going back to the previous thought, Chelsea had way higher expectations than Tottenham.
Chelsea for me was top 3.
Yeah. Depending on who you are and how you look at it, I think Chelsea obviously had higher expectations than Tottenham.
It is clear that Chelsea was the most disappointing team in the EPL.
Yeah.
But speaking of West Ham, they're the last team remaining.
So here's the thing, right?
They won a trophy.
No, so
they almost got relegated.
They were D for me.
Yeah.
But that Conference League saved them, I think.
You gotta go at C, right?
Yeah, but at the end, or even you could put them ahead of Bournemouth.
I'll go like that.
They were easy D. They were in the same realm as Everton. They had a strong season last 2 years.
And they were a strong team on paper as well.
Yeah, they had a strong 2 season last year. Last 2 seasons, sorry. And on paper as well, like you said. They had stretches for sure. They beat us, right?
They beat us, yeah. They had that shitty goal in.
Yeah, so... And then, but that's why they were D for me, easy. Because they shouldn't have been under. But then they were also in the Conference League, which is still it's not the Europa League or the Champions League, clearly.
It's a money grab.
But you're still playing teams like Fiorentina who are pretty solid.
In the final,
In the final, in the Conference League, right? The decent. I don't know. I didn't watch too much of Serie A, so I can't comment on how much Fiorentina did. That trophy saved them. That trophy put them in.
You can clearly tell Serie A sides were good because they dominated Europe this year.
Yeah.
That trophy, that final was absolutely incredible. the 90th minute winner by Jared Bowen.
Yeah.
They obviously still have a
That,
European spot. So for me, because of that, there should be a tier ahead of Tottenham.
yeah.
So I would agree with a C.
Okay.
So anything you want to change?
Um. Yeah. I can't even knock down any of the teams in A.
Right,
Obviously,
yeah.
I know people are gonna be like, Man United should drop because their expectations during the season changed.
Yeah. But I
But
say so did Arsenal.
yeah. They stay.
I think, yeah, I agree.
I think I agree with this. I don't know. Do you want to
Yeah.
move anyone from C up
C up.
or anyone from D up to C?
No, I think D. No, I think that's fair, bro. In my opinion, I think this is fair. Maybe like you could switch within tiers, but
Yeah, within tiers.
well, I'm not gonna worry too much about that, right? But like, I feel like these teams, expectations wise, and what happened at the results, I feel like it's fair to say that these guys were in the same tier. Maybe there might be debate with Liverpool and Tottenham being in the same tier, but they're like, but we like the Liverpool is an upper D, and like Tottenham is like in
A
the
lower D.
Yeah,
But I
lower
still
tier.
want to put Liverpool in C. And not just because of any bias reasons, it's just because their expectations were like
Was legit
title
title.
contender and possible. Like they were in the Champions League final last year, right? They
Won
they had the domestic double
Yeah.
and they choked, and then they had a chance at a quadruple. So we expected that to happen. Yes, it was a big loss with Sadio Mane for sure, but then obviously Luis Diaz.
But they also spent a lot to get like replace him with Darwin.
Well, Darwin Nunez, yes.
And
But,
the thing with
but then you couldn't predict the Luis Diaz injury for most of that
yeah,
year.
you couldn't predict the deal
But even
with
then,
Jota.
like,
Their main issue was the midfield.
yeah, I don't know. Obviously Liverpool fans will comment down below. If we have cousins that are Liverpool fans. They'll message us like, nah.
No, I feel like they'll agree.
Yeah.
If you guys disagree, please comment down below. Let us know who would you move up or down.
Comment next year's. Who do you think, or the early season title favorites for next year? I mean,
Yeah.
it might just be City, but who do you think will be relegated for next year with the new teams coming up? And give us your thoughts in the description below. But yeah, I'm happy with this list.
You're happy with this? I'm happy with it too.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much it, I guess.
Yeah. If you guys enjoy these videos, please like it. We'll try to do more of them. Obviously, it'll take a break from the podcast ones because those are a little bit longer, and these are gonna be a little bit shorter for sure. And it's just different content, right?
Yeah.
Other than that,
Please follow our socials, like Joven said down below. Also, our Spotify, our audio platforms. You can listen to our podcast there, and also subscribe to the channel. We're close to 100, and keep an eye out every Mondays and Thursdays. Our podcast episodes drop as well, so make sure you guys check that out as well. But other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
peace.